And I think you need to sign the NDA before we finish. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. Today we're going to talk a little bit about John Wick. I'm going to go into my Call of Duty geek mode, and then we're going to run down the Oscars real quick before this Sunday. So check it out later, and sit back, relax, and subscribe, fools. Hey guys, sorry about the fools thing. It was an accident. I didn't mean it. Welcome back to another episode of Rundown. I'm your host, Chris Fagan. Sorry about starting the show off late yet again. I humble myself before you and I beg your forgiveness, but it was all Tabatha's fault. Speaking of Tabatha, let's introduce my wife, Joy. Hey, babe, how you doing?
Hello.
And the person I've been giving grief to, who's going to probably slash my tires later.
Yes, it's going down.
Why does it got to go down?
It's going down because I don't get even. I get ahead.
When people say it's going down, then the police have to get called later on. But
I don't call the police.
What do you do then?
We handle this shit ourselves.
She's like, I'm from
I'm
the south
surprised
side.
when you said it's going down that he didn't go, and that's what she said.
Right? That is definitely
That's
what he
his-
would do.
Favorite thing.
I mean, that's their favorite thing? What's
I
that
said-
supposed to mean?
I said that's his favorite thing.
You heard it all right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so as long as I'm not crazy, okay. Anywho, speaking about, let me see if I can adjust that before. Is there a net in the house too? I hate those things. All right, let's get started with the show because we already started off late, and I promised that I was gonna rapid fire this mug. So let's go into the first act. Before we get into that, I'm gonna let you guys know how the show is gonna work. Act 1, we're gonna talk about headlines from the force feed. Tab is gonna help us out with that. Act 2, Joy is gonna go down the entertainment news and the trending topic stuff. Then we're going to do some reviews and some reactions and some things like that and rankings and blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. If there's time, maybe we'll go over some We Got Your Mail. I'll make a little announcement, and then, all will be right with the world. But before we get started with all that, Tabs,
Sir.
let's go with the force feed. What's going on with the headlines here now?
First one, TMZ, cocaine cat, wild African cat in love with the cocoa, tests positive for cocaine in Ohio.
Cocaine cat. Now, let me make sure that the stuff is running right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cocaine. Yes. I read that headline. I was like, I immediately said, Cocaine Bear didn't do that great in the box office. And guys, we're checking the chat board, so please comment on everything that we're talking about. If Elizabeth Banks, it doesn't even have to be Elizabeth Banks, somebody else, I don't care. But if a sequel to Cocaine Bear, if they just keep finding more animals who get into cocaine and making these movies, I would be happy with this.
I would be permanent fixture on seeing those movies. She's already mentioned she's like she would be down for
a sequel,
a cocaine shark.
The cocaine. Oh no way! I would not want that.
Even talked about it.
We have Sharknado.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it would be playing off of.
But that's what I have never seen any of the Sharknado movies, but I would just be feeling
like its own little cult.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to step on those toes. I hear that those guys are serious about their Sharknados, but I don't know. I'll be down with Cocaine Cat. Let me know what you guys think. What's the next one?
The next force feed. You season 4 part 2 drops on Netflix.
We haven't seen part 1 yet. So.
We have not seen part 1, and I wanted to. After we didn't get a chance to see. Forgot to turn it off. After we didn't get a chance to see part 1 when it first dropped, I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until part 2 drops. And
yeah, you like to watch back to back, anyways.
Yeah, so I don't want to. I didn't want to cut the season up like the way the way things are going nowadays, but. Says nobody on this panel. You're not a.
I will never watch it because I won't support the sexualization of
apparently
killers.
This season is not the usual.
Okay.
I had a feeling that they were going to make him like a hero this time.
No, it's not a hero. It's more that from what I've heard.
Go ahead.
From what I've heard, it's not about him, like
using his sex appeal to.
He's
somebody
actually
thinks he's sexy.
Not me.
He's doing like whodunit. Like he's trying to figure out some murder stuff. They want to.
So he's trying to Dexter it up. He's trying to Dexter it up.
I don't know if he's killing people or not.
He's trying to Dexter
other
it.
people he's around or killing people.
If he doesn't kill one person, I'm gonna be like woke.
I haven't watched it yet, but they went a
different way
they
with
wanted
it.
it to be totally different. And he was also very adamant this time as well. Like, he didn't really want sex scenes or
I heard that about him because he's such a nice guy and
he didn't really want to be
he himself didn't like the way the character was being portrayed sexually and positively in the social world,
in that toxic environment that he creates for himself.
Well, no, not even in the show, but in
his real life,
in the real life where people are sexualizing and seeking to be with a serial killer. It's freaking crazy in my mind.
People are nuts, man. I don't know.
Some of it was about his like he was just like, I'm one of those guys that's like, I'm married and I don't really want to do those kind of scenes anymore. It doesn't, I don't want to do it.
I mean, I get that, but as an actor, sometimes the character does need to have those moments throughout a story. Otherwise, it doesn't sometimes feel real because they're not having intimate moments and it feels very placated through it. So like I think
he didn't even want there to be any that's why he wanted it to go in a different direction, so it wouldn't be required, because he didn't want it to come off like, why are we not doing this? He wanted it to just not be a part of what
so he's wanting the story to change. For sure.
Well, and then once you have a certain amount of success, then after a while you can start calling the shots. Usually in the beginning, producers ain't gonna hear nothing. Oh, you don't like that? Well, maybe we should hire another actor. But then after,
and he indicated that too. Like in the beginning,
he
didn't really want to do it. And then either, but he was like, "What do you tell someone? Like, can we just change everything you're doing because I don't like it?" Like,
I mean, at least he's smart enough to realize that.
Unlike other people who will be like, oh, I'll just keep tweeting. I don't care what Disney says. Oh, how do I find a way to bring it back to that?
Yes, you did. Lord have mercy.
What's next? What we got?
All right. Next is Nicolas Cage doesn't need to be in the MCU. Regrets not getting to do emo Superman with Tim Burton.
That was a project that was in the 90s called Superman Lives. It never got off the ground, but it was greenlit. There's even pictures of him wearing the suit.
Really? It did get greenlit?
It got greenlit.
I didn't remember hearing that part.
You can see him wearing the suit and stuff like that. He was gonna have that mullet and stuff. It was good.
I actually remember like a headline or a conversation around it, but again, it was in my younger years in the 90s, so like I don't remember the details. Like I didn't remember that it actually was greenlit and like they ran it.
He knows that I'm not a Nick Cage.
Yeah, I like him in like a lot of his stuff.
I told him I'm like, I'm not a fan. However, one of my favorite movies. He's the lead. Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't know why I love that movie. I'll watch it anytime.
I know why I love it.
She just has a crush on Angelina Jolie over there.
Yep. Yeah. See, she grinning from ear to ear on that one.
Oh no, she's not. Anyway.
That and Desperado.
Oh, Desperado's another really good.
Somebody love you. Desperado.
It wasn't in that movie.
That was to say I don't.
What's the next tab?
And next one is Keanu Reeves, my lover, says, I did always want to play Wolverine.
Yeah. After we had, what's his name, play Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, I don't think the fans are going to appreciate another tall Wolverine. I think they're going to get a dude that's like between 5'5" and 6 foot.
Wait, what? Why?
Because I just have a feeling that Kevin Feige is going to go for an actor that's shorter just because of the fact that Wolverine is like 4'11" in the comic book. But
when has height?
It doesn't, and that's why Hugh Jackman got it. But I think because he already got it, and we saw it, and it was great. But I think Kevin Feige likes to at least try. I'm not saying that Kevin Feige depends on it.
I just don't understand how that is going to affect the acting ability, and that's going to portray a difference in the movie.
If the person who gets the role and it's most perfect for the role just happens to be 7 foot tall, Kevin Feige will give him the job. I feel that.
Yeah.
But I think that he's going to try to first see if he can get a person who physically looks like the character first. Only because we've already had an amazing person. When Hugh Jackman was first cast, people were like, first they didn't know, nobody knew who he was. He was a stage singer and performer.
I knew who he was. And he was in movies before.
Not as big, but he got a bunch of people were all like, he's too tall. And then when the first time he played it, they all shut up. They all that after a while, and then he is Wolverine.
I just find this to be a very silly conversation about the ability of creating a new Wolverine. What you're looking for is an acting ability to portray the character, not their height.
Because
you can make them any height in the damn movie.
If the person who auditions happens to be and crushes it happens to be just as tall as Hugh Jackman or taller, I think he'll get it.
I mean, Keanu Reeves looks great.
I would rather him be. I would have rather him been like Doctor Doom. Doctor Strange.
Oh, I could see him.
I could have seen that.
I could have seen him doing.
And speaking of Nick Cage, everybody also wanted him to be Ghost Rider. The guy on the motorcycle with the skull. I'm talking about Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Keanu Reeves probably would have done that a lot better.
Wow, man.
I don't really notice height and move in.
Thank God, because I wouldn't have had a chance.
Like I don't, unless they're specifically.
Why she laughing so hard?
Unless they're specifically putting it on screen so that you can tell the like.
Yeah, it looks bigger in screen, baby.
Look at this really short guy, so that you see the difference. It means nothing to me. It's like you see a movie, and then when someone writes online, did anybody know that he was only this? No,
I didn't. Tom Cruise being a very good example.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
There you go. Very short peoples. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Mini Van Damme. What's next?
Oh my gosh. Next, House of Dragon showrunner promises 5 new dragons. Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited about 5 new dragons.
Yeah. That means that there's going to be 5 new births, because typically don't they get the dragons with the births?
There was a bunch of eggs in that cauldron.
So whose babies he's gonna be?
I don't care as long as these dragons take out what's his face after what he did in that final episode. I don't care. One of these dragons better be bigger than his. That's all I know. All right, what else?
Michael B. Jordan spearheading Creedverse in works at Amazon across film and TV.
That makes sense because isn't the Rocky franchise, isn't that MGM?
Actually, I think it is MGM.
Amazon owns MGM now.
Oh, okay.
So it makes the most sense.
Okay.
I don't think he would have had a choice.
Well, true.
If you want a series, it's coming to Amazon. So
yeah.
What do you think about that, baby? Do we need more Creed?
I haven't seen them yet, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what I thought of when I first saw that article. That headline, I mean. Sylvester Stallone is going to have another excuse to be just pissed off, like he's going to see all this extra money, like with the streaming and stuff, because he has his own hit series on Paramount. So he knows what the potential this could break out into, a bunch of franchises, a bunch of different stories and stuff, and him burning that bridge with the person who owns the right, even though he's the guy who created that franchise, it's really pissing him off. He backpedaled a little bit and said it's not about Michael B. Jordan. It's about the guys the producers who own his. Yeah,
he's not pissed at Michael.
He's not pissed at Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but I mean, business is business, and when you fuck yourself over in business, you got to deal with those consequences.
It's just like we were talking about with you back when he pitched the Rocky movie. He was a nobody.
Yeah,
and you had to take the deal that you need to get it off the ground. I'm sorry, I said a long time ago, when he was at the peak of his fame in the 90s, he should have thought to try to get the franchise back. He probably could have done it.
Probably.
But after that came and
we do like him in Tulsa.
We like it, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You would like that.
I would.
You would like it.
What is it on?
Paramount.
Oh, okay. I have the Paramount.
I said my free trial membership is still active. All right, do we have any? That's it. That's it for the headlines. Let's go into Act 2 real quick.
2.
Talking about entertainment news and reviews. This is about a time where I would probably play a transition thing, but we don't have time because I started so late. So let's just get right into it, babe. What's the first topic of the week?
Chris Rock released a year's worth of frustration about being slapped at the Oscars by Will Smith. One of the things he was quoted to say was, "None of us knew that Jada cheated till she said so on her show as she interviewed Will. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person who cheated on us on TV. Let's ask the viewers in the comments and the crew to tell us what they thought of the special and the situation."
Yeah, if you guys have seen it, What did you think about Chris Rock's latest Netflix special? We watched half of it.
I didn't get to watch it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not really missing much. It's not really that funny.
There would be a few things so far that would come out and you'd be like, that was funny.
Okay.
But then other stuff you were like,
really? I'm quite surprised.
I was too. I thought he was gonna come swinging like he did on his
he's scared
Bring the Prank.
He's scared to get.
Oh, well, you know what? I kind of agree because I kind of mentioned that when we were watching the half that we watched. Like spoilers, like in the beginning of it, he kind of opened the door. He talked about trans women in the beginning, but he even kind of made the announcement like I'm not going nowhere near disrespecting him or saying anything bad. If he's like, if my dad became trans, I would accept him and love him. And so like I stopped. I paused it and I said, he's not trying to go into the same direction that Dave Chappelle went. Yeah. And whatnot, because he probably would not come out of it.
No. Like you got to, like, I think that they're realizing their type of comedic presence is a very harsh comedic present that isn't being received by the majority right now in a lot of ways. And I think that sometimes that makes them hesitant. I don't necessarily think that everything he says is great, but I really think he's freaking hilarious. I think he's a genius.
I think some of my problem that I had was that the bit would go on a little too long. So it's like he would say something and he'd be like, that's funny. But then he would continue on that same little
He's trying to pull a second laugh out of it.
Throwing some more stuff in for another like 5-10 minutes. You're like, dude, it was funny a few minutes ago, but like
now we're past.
Which is odd because in all of his other specials and stuff, his comedic ability, the way he, especially when he talks about a very serious subject on a political level or something real serious, he has this ability to set it up, it makes it seem like he's trailing off. And for 5-10 minutes, and then he brings it back home to the original point in a genius way that no other comedian I've ever seen do it.
But you only saw half, so maybe that does happen.
I mean, but he didn't do it in any of the jokes, though.
But he's known for doing it at the very end.
Maybe the whole special is going to be
to tie up at the end. But I haven't seen any of it, and you haven't seen the last of it, so that could still happen. So
I don't know. You're being more generous than I'm gonna be. I know he's funny, but this one I'm not feeling it.
We watched a while back the Cat Williams, and I love him. But this last one was like I don't know what happened, but there was only very few things that were funny. Yeah, and I know he's funny because I have rewatched and watched stuff that I just was rolling, and this one was just very like
it's got a regular Miss BET over here, huh? Yeah, you would think I'm the guy watching that. No.
He's always said that. I used to watch a lot of like Love and Hip Hop and stuff, and he'd be like, why are you watching the drama is very entertaining. I know that it's fake, but it's still it's very entertaining.
But before we move onto the next topic real quick, that line that we didn't even get to yesterday about the whole thing about Will Smith, him saying none of us in the world have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on. What do you I mean, that's the thing that everybody's reacting to. I mean, does he have a point? I mean, was that just him slapping Will back?
I mean,
twofold maybe, right?
Yeah, I think maybe it's kind of a twofold in that sense if that's what he was doing, because that would make sense. Yeah,
but it is true. I mean, it's like so I cheated on you all throughout our marriage. How do you feel about that? In front of live, in front of. I mean, it's it went the way he we all saw it when it was happening with Smith in real life, but the way he phrased it, I was like, damn, that is exactly what Jada did.
She did, and it was that's what I'm talking about, is that harsh comedic thing that it's like blunt and to the point and just kind of there to put you in your place.
Shock value.
Yeah, he is a shock value.
Shock jock.
Yeah, like comedian. I didn't say it, so you can't mock. Jerk. But yeah, so I see kind of maybe why he's pulled back in your mind from what y'all have seen. Like if that's the case, now I gotta watch it so I can actually have a legitimate like debate and understanding of what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I haven't even finished it, so maybe Tabatha's right. Maybe it ends off pretty good. But guys, keep talking about it in the comment section. We're gonna save some time for it, and during the We Got Your Mail portion of it. Let's move on to the next topic. But you guys keep lighting it up on the comment section. We're gonna come back to it.
The second season to the Netflix show Sex Life has finally been released for streaming. Who on the panel is watching this video has seen the series? Do you plan on watching the new season?
I have not watched it, but I watched the previews, and it's got Carmen from the L Word in it. And literally Jess showed me the preview, watched the trailer. I was like, that. And she was like, do you recognize her? I was like, wait, she goes, that's Carmen from the L Word. I was like, oh my God. And I loved me some Carmen. Whoo, Lordy, I loved me some Carmen.
Wait, the singer?
No, that chick right there that's in the middle. She's a character called Carmen on the L Word, who was incredibly sexy, and it was.
I don't know if you've seen season 1 of Sex Life.
We're watching that real soon.
Did you hear about the controversy from season 1?
This is very Skinamax.
There was without spoiling it, but let's just say there's a scene where a guy has to confront another guy, and they're in a locker room.
Whose horse is that?
Basically. So when this thing was seen by the world on Netflix, people were all like debating about it. It caused the debate. And then a couple of months ago, recently, what are they called? The sex choreographer, the person who does whoever that person is that choreographs the sex scenes and stuff. Ooh. She revealed on TikTok or Twitter or something and said, no, that was real.
I mean, he said it himself, but people were still like,
So how do you get to become a sex coordinator, and how do you study for that job?
There is actually people on TikTok that talks about that all the time.
Movies and stuff all the time.
Like how they do this, how they do that, what the proper way.
How do you practice? How do you get in the know of this information? Like,
you just got to be real good at it.
I'm kind of curious as to how this happens. She will talk
to people that will like argue with her that of course are not in the business, that were like, I watched that movie. It was real. Like the sex was real. And she's like, I promise you it's not real.
Yeah, she's like,
we do a very good job at making it look that way, but I can 100% assure you it is not.
They're like, no, I saw a squirt. Anywho. But guys, but I'm going to have to rewatch season 1 because it's been so long.
This is going to be a real feat, and he is going to sacrifice his time and his energy to basically watch porn.
Like, damn.
Like for research for the show.
I didn't know if it was even going to get another.
We didn't think exactly. It was so long, and I didn't believe them when they said they greenlit season 2. But then, boom, Netflix dropped it out of nowhere.
I kind of thought the way it ended, if they do another season, is it going to be like all new characters?
I don't. You know what? Maybe so, but I want to go in blind. They kind of
feel like they wrapped up loose ends, so you felt like, well, if they do another one, what would they do? Would they go a whole nother direction?
He wrapped up a loose end on her.
Oh, God.
Well, guys, let us know if you're watching it. Let us know what you guys think about season 2. Don't spoil it because I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna have to rewatch season 1 and then get back into the swing of it. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic of the week.
With the return of Jon Bernthal as the Punisher to the Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again, starring Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin, let us know in the comments what changes do you predict will come to these characters and the series as a whole.
This was a conversation that I knew I was going to be really solo about on it.
Yep.
About this one. I'm pretty sure that I'm the only one at the panel that you saw Daredevil a little bit.
I watched all Daredevil.
Yeah, we saw it. So the question I was going to propose was,
I watched The Punisher with you.
Now that The Punisher and Daredevil are coming to Disney Plus, same actors, Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio, that are returning to play their roles, and you haven't seen Daredevil. Was it
actually good?
It was pitch perfect because Netflix did a outstanding job with Daredevil with Punisher.
It's one of those ones that can just be done really wrong so easily that I get nervous about that storyline.
I'll tell you. I'll pitch it to you right now. With the Daredevil character is a guy, you know, have you seen the Ben Affleck version of him?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so you pretty much get a gist of him.
A little bit.
And Punisher, you know the Punisher.
Yes.
Netflix did not hold back on the Punisher as far as being gory and brutal and stuff like that. But what is unanimous, despite the fact that Netflix wasn't connected to the MCU, but people wanted it to be because it was so well done. Despite the fact that it was bloody and brutal and very grown up and sophisticated and all that stuff, the most agreed upon scenes in the Daredevil. See, I'm just seeing if those are working. What is mostly agreed upon by the fans is the best scene in Daredevil season 2 with the Punisher was when they were on a rooftop having a 10-minute long debate. No fighting. The fight already ended.
Yeah.
But a debate. I mean, one of the best lines and conversations I've ever seen. I mean, the whole philosophy, because Punisher is the guy who kills and Daredevil does not want to kill. I mean, when John Bernthal, when he delivered that message, he's like Red, he calls him Red because I don't understand you, Red. I mean, you take somebody down, he goes to jail, he comes back. When I take them down, they stay down. I'm like, and they're just having this conversation about why it's bad to kill, and Punisher is just loading his gun like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's the best scene ever. Just the philosophy alone was great.
I'm wanting to know. I mean, because we saw some Instagram posts with, I don't know their names off the top of my head, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, who were like out and about together and posted a photo.
I think they're sneaking something on us. I think they're going to be in it too.
What's going on here?
Tabs, we're going to have to get you to do a first time watching
all right.
of these seasons.
All right.
I recommend it.
Okay.
And they're not. They may some of them might be the same actors, but we all know that this is a different universe. They're going to have a different take on it. The question though that I'm posing, that everybody's asking, is how Disney-fied will Punisher be?
That's actually
Netflix is very bloody.
That's actually a good question. However, I think Disney has been getting like less and less to their.
I mean, they have it where.
I mean, they have the Netflix seasons on Disney Plus, but you have to put the parental code in there.
Or whatever.
Andor gives us a glimpse on how bleak and bloody dark it can get.
There's some adult things that are coming into Disney Plus that I think are taking that shine away from what they kind of do with all their movies and shows. So I'm hopeful for that.
Will we see a Peter on Disney Plus?
One
day. A P and a G.
One day. We can only hope.
Oh, guys, look at this. Guys, let us know I want to hear that from you guys in the comments. What do you think about the Punisher joining the new Daredevil season? It's not connected to the Netflix series, but let's see what they do. What do you think, or how Disney-fied it's going to be? Will they push the PG-13 envelope, or will Captain America come out of nowhere and be like, language? All right, what's the next topic?
Sony is worried that Microsoft could sabotage PlayStation versions of Call of Duty if Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard were to be approved. Sony submitted documentation to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority saying that Microsoft could do a variety of moves to make the Call of Duty franchise on PlayStation unappealing to play on. On January 18th, 2022, Microsoft announced its intent to acquire Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion in cash. Under the terms of the agreement, which would be expected to close by spring 2023, pending regulatory and shareholder approval, Microsoft would own Activision, Blizzard Entertainment, and King under the Xbox Game Studios brand. The acquisition would give Microsoft ownership of franchises including Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. Gaming fans, let us know in the comments. Do you think Microsoft will play dirty with duty?
Dirty with duty. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
This was a conversation I was planning on really having with Sean, because me and Sean play this game religiously. I don't know if you're a Call of Duty fan.
Not Call of Duty, but I am an original Warcraft fan. Like original. I played on the PC the very first game.
Okay. But
I played throughout until it became an online game, which is WoW. And my brother and my dad are obsessive WoW players. Been around. I used to be forced to play the game of a character of my dad and do one freaking task so that he could do whatever he needed while he handled something else because my dad played multiple computers at one time.
Okay.
Like, that's the seriousness of this.
So I don't play, but I'm just.
She watches me
if
play.
You are acquiring them, and you are paying money for that. You want it to make money, so why would you
sabotage?
Screw it so bad that it's ruined and no one wants to play it, because then therefore you just paid a whole bunch of money for no reason.
Because the concept is they're going to drop PlayStation
to make it an exclusive for
to get it on Xbox. Then they're getting a double hit. They're getting an Xbox purchase and the game,
right?
The game purchase into their company versus where people could the gaming console was outside of their company, even though they're maybe still getting the gaming purchase. So they're trying to get a double market hit and create a monopoly, and that's where the big problem comes into play.
I mean, Call of Duty is one of the biggest games out there. Microsoft, who creates Xbox, and there's Sony, who creates PlayStation. They both get a version of this. They get these games when they come out equally. If back in the day, it used to be one console would get the game a month sooner or before the other one, things like that. Then Sony started just getting every year after year after year. It was just all Sony. And then Microsoft was like, well, you know what? Why don't we just buy the damn company that makes that game? And then Sony and all the Sony's PlayStation Nation just panicked, and all of us Xbox guys were like, we got the money to do this. But would it make sense to sabotage PlayStation? I mean, if you own the company that makes the game, you're leasing it out to PlayStation. You're still making money off of that.
I think it absolutely, from a business standpoint, it absolutely makes sense for them to sabotage it. 100%.
I think it doesn't. I think they would lose money if it became an Xbox exclusive.
It would have to. If they're sabotaging it, PlayStation's going to end up going. Even the customers are going to end up going, well, why the hell will we want to play it on PlayStation? And they already know their other games work on Xbox. So guess what? We're just going to get an Xbox, drop PlayStation so we can play the very important game, which is Call of Duty. So yes, sabotaging makes a business sense.
I think the last time me and Sean talked about this on this channel, I think I remember bringing it up was it depends on if they should do their due diligence on this. If the number of Call of Duty loyalists who will jump to a different console, even if they don't own an Xbox, but they always played it on PlayStation. If they're more loyal to the game versus the console, if that number is bigger than the console one, then yes, it makes sense to sabotage.
So as somebody
then you make your money with PlayStation.
But as somebody who owns Call of Duty Arcade, I guarantee you there's a lot of loyalty to the game.
The question again, though, is how much overlap because there's a lot of people who are like, I will never play any PlayStation. I hate PlayStation. I mean, I hate Xbox, and I won't play a PlayStation. There's people who are like, I will only play Xbox, and people who are like, I will only play PlayStation.
I was a PlayStation only person many moons ago. I really was. Legitimately, I grew up with it. That's what I played. That's kind of like was my go-to after Nintendo. And when I was with someone who liked Xbox, that's when I became an Xbox.
That's when you got right.
Well, not right. I actually like both. I prefer the controller situation with PlayStation just because I think that's what I was like trained with, so to speak, in the sense of the beginning. But I can manage the Xbox, but I have to like sit there and kind of go, okay, wait, I got to do this. Yeah. It takes a little bit more brain power. But then once I play it a lot, I get into it. I like the Xbox. I think the Xbox is great, but I'm one of those people that doesn't necessarily think one is better than the other. For me, it's just control. For me,
I think that's an American way of thinking about it, because I know the number isn't 50-50, but let's just for the sake of argument that it's 50% of Americans play PlayStation, 50% play Xbox. That's not the way it is in the rest of the world. Japan, it is mostly PlayStation. In Europe, it is mostly PlayStation. Because the damn country that makes it is right there.
But that's because of manufacturer things like that. So that makes sense.
For that number alone might offset it, where it's like the loyalists to the game the PlayStation console might be greater because you got to think of the rest of the. And if that's true, then Microsoft, they're not going to sabotage it. But if it's not true, or even if it's close, then yes.
Yeah, it's going to come down to numbers. That's really, like you said, it's going to come down to the actual percentage or idea of the statistics of loyalty for the game versus the console.
Right.
I completely agree with you there. I just do think that there is a real play at sabotaging when you think about the 2 hit to market versus the 1 hit to market.
Yeah.
Makes sense to sabotage at that point.
Hey, see, business owners coming together, counseling Microsoft. We're that devil on Microsoft shoulder. Do it. Only through your hates will you be stronger. All right, guys, let us know what you think. If you're a gamer, share your thoughts on that because I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I'm an Xbox guy, so wing no matter what. Let's move on to the next topic, babe.
Let's take a look at Variety's articles on the final Oscar predictions. We want everyone to share their predictions on any category in the comments for us to run down. But our panel will only be focusing on Best Picture, Director, Male and Female, Supporting, and Lead Actors.
Yeah. Let's see if I can pull this up really fast. Yeah, there's a lot of categories, obviously, and we don't have time to go through all of that.
Yeah.
But so I only decided we're only going to talk about Best Picture, Best Director, the leads, and the supporting roles, male and females. But all you guys, so if you put in the comment section, or if you super chat, please super chat. I'm like, these lights are getting cut off, man. Let us know what you guys think, what your thoughts are on who's the winners are going to be in whatever category, and we'll run them down here on the show. Starting off with, this is what
Best Picture
they have for Best Picture. This is what Variety's prediction was for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull. There we go. So I won't read the whole thing. I'll just show you the chart that they had real quick. And this is the order. If I'm reading this chart correctly, I think this is the order that they have it in for their predictor, or they feel like everybody else is thinking. Number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 2, Top Gun Maverick. Number 3, The Banshees of Inisherin. Number 4, All Quiet on the Western Front. 5, The Fabelmans. 6, Elvis. 7, Tar. 8, Women Talking. 9, Triangle of Sadness, and 10, Avatar: The Way of Water. But the person, I guess, writing the article, their prediction is they think it's going to be
Everything Everywhere All
Yep,
at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I would not have thought the
so
momentum
much,
has shifted to that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really seen Top Gun win anything at all, except for like their production.
The one point that somebody made
and all that kind of stuff. So I don't see it suddenly all of a sudden winning Best Picture.
Yeah, no.
The one point that you loved it.
I do, but I'm just saying, looking at everything else it's been up for, it's gotten nothing but the behind the scenes stuff.
Because you loved the movie. Throw out what your prediction would be in the sense of like based off what's happening. Would you put that movie as the Best Picture out of those options?
Are the ones that you've seen, at least,
Like to be the winner?
Yeah.
Or just
what would be your pick?
Would you be upset if let's say it was down to Everything Everywhere All at Once and Top Gun Maverick? Would you be surprised either way?
No, I just don't see it winning.
Okay.
I really think.
But would you want it to win over everything?
I mean, I did enjoy it. I thought it was fabulous, and it was a feel good. Like it really. Yeah. I'd watch it over and over again.
Okay.
Steven Spielberg even said that movie saved Hollywood.
See it.
Yeah.
The way they judge things, I don't. It's kind of like it's kind of an
action movie.
It's kind of a movie that goes into the Marvel category. It's like it's never going to
That's
what they're looking at it like.
But again, this is the movie that even Steven Spielberg himself said it saved Hollywood. It made so much money out of nowhere. It saved Hollywood because we were coming out of the pandemic and everything, and that was the movie that crushed all expectations.
I just think storyline wise and
did you see you watched it?
No, no, not that Top Gun, but I'm thinking about Everything Everywhere All at Once deserves because of the uniqueness of how they directed that movie, how that movie's story was, how it all came together, the actors in that movie. To me, it just encompassed it is for me. It encompassed everything that you would want out of a best
I get that. I just personally, I say that all the time. I do stuff like that all the time, and I'm trying not to. Whenever I know, and this year I said that I was going to try to catch up and watch all the movies that are nominated, but I haven't had time. So I want to at least see Tar.
I do want to see Tar too.
I'm trying to stop myself from saying things like that because I agree. Mm-hmm. Without have seen all the other ones because I know I'm not being fair. Yeah, I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. But then I'm like, how do I know that if I watch Tar or All Quiet on the Western Front that I might go, no, that's the one. I don't know.
You're right.
But like Tabatha, I did see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I know. It's so good. It's just so good.
All right, let us know what you guys think on that. Let's move on to Best Director real fast. And I'm glad these categories are shorter. For Best Director, they had on their chart, let's see, Daniel Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Todd Fields for Tar, Martin McDonald for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ruben, is it Osborne?
I can't read.
I can't read it either, and I refuse to cover my beautiful face with my glasses. For Triangle of Sadness, I've only one I've seen is, even without seeing all the other ones, I'm still gonna predict that it's. I'm gonna come back to it. It is Steven Spielberg. It's between Steven Spielberg. It's Steven Spielberg. He's the greatest director of all time. Mm. And that's and if the fuddy duddies of the Academy have their way, I'm pretty sure a lot of them voted for him. But I think it's between him and Triangle.
I just think it's. I get that he's a wonderful.
Not Triangle. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I get that he's a wonderful director. That we all know this.
Best director of all time.
I do not think he's a GOAT.
He has won Oscars for almost every genre.
But in my opinion, Everything Everywhere,
who would be the GOAT?
All at Once is as a director viewing, like the work that was put into that movie and how unique it was, and it was a new way of viewing a movie. That to me crushed. I agree,
but I want to circle back to your previous comment. Who would be the GOAT then if he's not the GOAT?
I don't have an answer for that now.
You can't because he's the GOAT. But no, go back. But Everything Everywhere All at Once, though.
For me. I think because I'm not willing to put him as the GOAT because I feel like it's nothing new anymore.
That doesn't mean that he's still doing a bad job.
No,
he's still crushing it.
But for someone to be the GOAT, they have to keep performing at a level above the newness. And he's not. To me, he didn't perform above Everything Everywhere.
So he didn't deserve his Oscar for last year, West Side Story.
I don't think that was. I thought it was a great movie.
It was his first time doing a musical, and it got nominated for Oscars.
Because I think that's because he has a name. At some point, your name carries you a lot.
But there's a reason why his name carries him a lot. Because he's that good.
He's had wonderful movies. I'm not saying he has it. I'm not taking that away. I'm talking about
disrespecting Steve.
I am talking about how at some point someone new is going to come in and do better than your GOAT.
No, I know that.
Therefore, then he's not the GOAT anymore because he can't be the greatest if he's not the greatest.
I don't think that day has come, and I don't think
it will.
It's gonna be hard. There's people that are close, but it's gonna be hard because he's already done the work. E.T.
Wonderful. Guess what? He had to beat people previous to him that did the same thing, and he did it. I think that when you bring in new movies like that have such a unique view and of bringing a new perspective to what directing is, that is better than the GOAT.
But that's implying that if he directed Everything Everywhere All at Once, that it wouldn't be just as good, if not better.
But he didn't direct it. That's my point. He doesn't get to claim anything he hasn't done. You don't get to put him in the position and then claim he would have done well at that. No, he didn't do it. He did well at it. So therefore, he doesn't get to continue to be the GOAT if he didn't do the work on the other movie.
I disagree because he has done Oscar work. He's gotten nominated for Oscars for
work he didn't do.
He has gotten nominated for Oscars in I'm not saying the same exact movie. I'm talking about the same genres. He is the only director.
He has not done a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What genre is it in?
I don't care about the genre. I'm talking. That is a unique perspective on a directorial.
It still has a genre.
I don't even think it has a genre, honestly, because it's such a unique movie.
I think Everything Everywhere All at Once would it be sci-fi?
I don't know. That's my thing. It's so unique.
It's psychedelic. For the sake of argument, he hasn't done a psychedelic, crazy type movie like that. But if he is the only director, like unlike any other director in the world, to be able to dip his toe for the first time in a genre that he's never done before and crank out Oscars, the chances are he would do it again if he were given a script similar to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I don't like this giving someone the GOAT title, which is the greatest of all time, but that's not being backed up by the current work. He didn't do the movie. He doesn't get to claim it. That movie, to me, greatest of all fucking time. Because I think it's amazing.
I'm sorry. I think that being the only director to get Oscars in other genres, unlike any other director in Hollywood today, no other director is a feat to be appreciated.
I appreciate his work. I do. I legitimately do. But I don't think he's the greatest of these movies. I don't think
you have the right to be wrong.
I do, and so do you. Yeah. Equal opportunities here, man. Equal opportunities. Yeah, your high pitch is telling you that I'm right.
Let's go to move on to best. What are we on here? I don't know, best actor. We're moving on to best actor. This was the list: Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Bill Nighy for Living, and Paul Mescal for what is that? After Sun.
Yeah.
Variety's pick is Colin Farrell.
I mean, I feel like that's a good guesstimate.
I would like to see. I haven't seen it, but I want him to win one.
I agree with you with that part of it because he's
I feel like he's underappreciated.
100%.
He's always crushed it.
But I really just in my heart, Brendan Fraser to win so bad.
That's true too.
My soul wants him to win.
Comeback.
Yeah, give
let's just say in our hearts, the two people that are up for this award, Brendan Fraser and Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Okay, so we agree on that. No greatest of all time there. Moving on to best actress. Variety's pick is.
I can't read that.
Cate Blanchett.
Is it for Tar? Cate Blanchett for Tar. Out of the Michelle Yang for Everything All at Once, Cate Blanchett that was ranked number 2. Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, Ana de Armas and Blondie. I heard that movie wasn't that great.
I actually did not get to see it, and so I think I heard the same.
Riseborough for to Leslie. Their pick is Tar. I'm thinking I want it to be Michelle Yeoh, but I think it's going to be.
Guys, I got a super crush on some Cate Blanchett. Don't get me wrong; she's a sexy beast, and I still think I want Michelle to win.
Me too.
Just because she was just
my heart is with Michelle. My brain is
saying Cate Blanchett for I agree. That's exactly where I'm at. What about you, Joy?
I would like to see Michelle. Win.
Everybody wants. This article also says that Everything All at Once is gonna sweep. If they sweep, people are gonna complain. They're gonna be all like, "It was weird, dude." People that don't like to see people of color win.
Oh my god, I will smack a bitch.
They're gonna be like, "Weird, woke."
Whatever. It was that movie deserved it. There is nothing woke about that shit.
Yeah. Supporting actor, we have on their list. Who is that man?
I can't read that.
From the list, we say K. Hugh Kwan from Everything All at Once as best supporting actor.
Okay.
Judd, maybe stop trying to be cool, Chris. Put the glasses on. For The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway. Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, I don't know.
And their pick was their pick is Everything All at Once.
Their picture doesn't.
That's not the picture. That's not the movie.
Oh wait, no. Wait, scroll back up.
Is that him on the left? That's him on the left.
No,
that's a whole different movie, right?
I was say, what movie is that?
I think that's the.
They have K. Kwan on ranked number one, but I don't know if that's the pick. That's my pick. I think he's gonna win it. Supporting actress. Let's end it off real quick with these categories. You already know who my pick is, but Karen Condon for Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Angela Bassett, your winner for Wakanda Forever, Stephanie Hugh for Everything All at Once, and Hong Chau for The Whale. And their pick is Angela Bassett.
I think it's going to be.
And if not her, Jamie Lee Curtis.
If not her, Jamie Lee? Okay. So, guys, let us know. We're moving into Oscars. That's this Sunday. What do you think for these and other categories? Run down your list of who's the winners are going to be, and maybe we'll talk about it later. Are we now going real quick into... I'll show it to you. So...
Reviews?
Peter is on your side, Chris, with the...
For the GOAT?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be on his side. That's not going to change my opinion.
He's listing all kinds of movies.
I have not denied the movies. God, y'all think that this helps your argument? That's not the past. The past is not my argument.
I'm just saying
disrespecting the man's work.
I didn't disrespect it. I said that I don't think that he is going to be the GOAT comparatively to this director for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that that director did a better job than him
for this year. I can agree with that for this year. But when you talk about the GOAT,
greatest of all time, if people are beating your ass.
Steven Spielberg has never won, hasn't won every year. That's not how it works. Michael Jordan didn't win every year.
He pretty much did.
He won every time he got. He won every time he got into the playoffs, but he didn't get into the finals and the playoffs.
How many years did he lose?
I don't know I know for a fact that he didn't go to the finals every year.
I will agree with you on that.
That's a fact. But when he got to the finals, he won
every time.
But he didn't get to the finals every year.
Steven Spielberg is getting to the finals, so if he doesn't win in the finals, then.
But you're nominated.
He's not winning in the finals.
But you're comparing Steven Spielberg to these other directors. You don't even know what other things that they've done.
But I'm talking about the things that are in the finals, because that's what you're talking about. You're going to compare apples to apples or oranges and oranges. You cannot start comparing cucumbers to apples.
No, I think we're having a different argument now.
I think we are.
Him losing does not negate the rest of his resume.
I didn't say it negates it. I said that it doesn't make him the greatest of all time.
In 2023. He wouldn't be the greatest in 23 because he lost to someone else.
I'm saying.
Someone else put in a better.
Yes, that is literally what I've said over and over again.
I was talking about as a director overall in his whole body of work.
I literally kept saying, I don't care about his past. I am talking about this. Over and over again, I said, I am not talking about his past.
Peter, do you see this? You hear what I'm talking about?
God.
He's not. He can't be the greatest because he lost in 2023.
He's not the greatest right now. In my opinion, based off of the movie that he is in the finals for, and the other movie that is in the finals, I do not think he is the greatest of these movies. Therefore, he cannot be the greatest if he is not the greatest.
Serena Williams lost this last year.
So who was the better? I don't watch tennis, so.
But people will still contend because of her history.
Because her history, that she is the greatest tennis player of all time.
But what kind of disservice does that do for the person who is the greatest this year?
No, but greatest of all time does mean your whole.
You can't.
Mean your whole.
If you're the greatest, let's go back to Mortal Kombat when we were talking about Last of Us. We're about to talk about Last of Us. If you're the greatest, if you get awarded the greatest Mortal Kombat 2 player of all time because you've won more championships, and then you turn. In your 50s, your eye coordination slows down because your body starts to tear down and some hot 20-year-old beats you. That doesn't instantly make them the greatest of all time.
No, I'm not saying that the new person is the greatest of all time. I'm saying they're no longer the greatest. Now, where I can agree with you on this is if we're considering an overtime in the history of, then I can consider him the greatest of that time in the past, but I can't add him to what's the greatest of current
is Michael Jordan the greatest basketball player of all time?
I think I think that's something I shouldn't have an opinion on because I'm not up on all the players.
Do you have an opinion on anybody being the greatest of all time?
I just don't like necessarily.
So that's what we're really talking about.
That's what it is. You
don't have a mentality of greatest of all time.
I don't because I think that it does a disservice to the people who are putting in the work for now and that are doing either new or better or more productive.
I'll put it to you like this. All the people that are currently playing in the NBA, if they were zapped back in time to when Jordan was in his prime, Jordan would be getting crushed because of what Jordan did to elevate the game. Everybody that came after him had to practice and elevate themselves to that level, and then you would become high. But it doesn't negate what Jordan did.
I don't think I'm not negating it. I think that's where you're misconstruing what I'm saying, because I'm not
negating.
No, I'm not negating. I wholeheartedly am not. I think they're wonderful people, wonderful at their talent and their jobs. And
but if they can no longer win every year,
but like what you said, if the people who are basketball players now go back and play Michael Jordan and he can't keep up with the new players in his prime in that time, then is he really the greatest of all time?
Yes, because they elevated themselves based on what Jordan did.
But now they surpass him because
people who are.
So now he's playing at the same level. So then he is the greatest of that time.
Football players are. We've been mixing metaphors now. Football players are bigger and stronger than they were when they were playing with those straw helmets and stuff.
I think here's the difference. You're saying greatest of all time. I think that he was the greatest of that time. I don't think that it can be applied at the same level as now.
He's still being nominated to this day. Yeah. Even getting nominated is a.
And you know what? I can give you Steven Spielberg in that. I can give you I can give you that. But I just don't think like Michael Jordan. Kind of you talking about losing your newness and your ability to bring it to the next level. Mm-hmm. That's kind of my opinion of where Steven Spielberg is. Not that he's not a bad director. He's a wonderful director. He makes wonderful movies. I just think that maybe that these new guys are coming in with new ideas and new views and new perspectives, and it's bringing a difference and an elevated stance to where he's now needs to move. What?
Joe is dissing us in the chat room.
Oh.
I should have saw that coming. We do not like to argue. We do
like to argue.
It's what sustains us.
Yeah, we do like to argue.
The second I saw it, I was like, all right, fine, let's move on then. We're okay. Maybe we
sorry,
do.
Joy. We really did get on tangents there. So sorry. God, I apologize.
Didn't think I was going to notice that in the chat room, did you, babe? Fine, okay. We could have gone on for another hour.
I know, we really could have. This is our problem. The problem is, Joy, is he will call me tomorrow morning after thinking on this argument for more hours to come back with more rebuttals.
Oh no, I'm 100% on the no that you are wrong. Look, I wanted to get you guys a peek at what we got up on the screen here. If I can, that's not even the right.
I was like, I don't know. Is that
I'm looking
Zendaya?
At what's her butt.
Okay, what we got?
Zendaya and.
So Zendaya, Emma Stone, Ana de Armas at the Paris Fashion Week, and it sparked a Charlie's Angels debate on TikTok.
Mm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it?
I am so.
If we didn't go long on our Spielberg debate, I would have asked you guys. Who would you, if there was a Charlie's Angels reboot or a new version of it? Obviously, this would be great. But who would you guys pick for Charlie's Angels? The second I saw this TikTok, I said, oh, yeah, I see that.
Yes.
Now I can't unsee it. I want to see them play Charlie's Angels now.
I think it's perfect.
I think that's perfect casting right there.
Yeah.
You got two Spider-Man ladies. You got Gwen. You got MJ.
I'm for this so much.
You got who played Blondie? We just talked about Blondie.
Ana de Armas.
Yeah, but what was the character?
Marilyn
Monroe. Yeah, you got Marilyn Monroe. You got Spider Gwen. I'm for that. Who would you guys have for Charlie's? This Charlie's Angels movie needs to happen. All right, we go on. Let's skip the next one because we're running out of time. We saw. Mm-hmm. We saw the new trailer for No Hard Feelings, starring what's her face? Jennifer Aniston?
No,
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. I'm getting my Jennifers mixed up. This trailer.
It was.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny. It's a little creepy in some ways, but I thought it was funny.
It took me a minute first because I thought, I know her age.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this a child?
Yeah. I got a little worried there for some of
like
it.
A little baby, but
Yeah.
at least he's he's of age.
He was 19, which is still a little creepy as a 38-year-old woman with a 19-year-old child.
I like the way they called that out in the trailer. They were Jennifer Lawrence's character was like, "You want me to date him, or do you want me to date him?" It's like, what is going
date
on?
Him so hard.
I'm gonna date him so hard.
That was I really did love that line in the trailer. I was like, yes.
I'm gonna date his brains out. Like, what? When this trailer started, I was like, I'm like, Jennifer, what are you doing with your career?
And she's like,
she's like, that's my cousin, and then he comes up behind her, grabs her,
like second cousin. My second cousin. That was hilarious. And I appreciate, because Jennifer Lawrence, you would think that with her being an Oscar caliber actress and stuff like that, that she would never go down to a super bad type of comedy.
Perfect for her, yeah.
And
I agree, because just like any goat, you're willing to do different genres.
Willing to give everybody the name goat.
Oh no, she's not the goat of acting.
Okay,
no.
okay.
I'm just saying she is a great actress who's not afraid to go into different genres. And
I know, she's doing the new things.
And if she crushes this, like she crushes everything else,
you're gonna be more.
No, she's not gonna be a goat. Nah, she's not a goat.
No, she's not there yet. She's not that. Y'all gotta stop freely giving away that name, that title.
I don't give that title away to any. Meryl Streep is the goat.
She is the goat. That woman still to
but
this day.
But she doesn't win every year.
Is she final every year?
No,
exactly. I don't even think she's been in a movie recently.
Oh, she's been in movies where I think
she's the greatest of all her time.
You see, even disrespect to Meryl Streep.
That's not disrespectful. I feel like that's incredibly disrespectful.
Before Joy disses us in the comments,
let's say Peter's choices for your Charlie's Angels is Scarlett Johansson, Margot Robbie, and Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Too many blondes.
Margot Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Margot Robbie, but I can't see Gal Gadot there. Who was the third one?
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson can be a redhead, but she is. I've always considered her a blonde in like her actress ways.
Now to go back to in their time, I could have seen that Charlie's Angels movie like in the early 20 teens.
I think they're too older women for.
Well, two of them have already done superhero type.
Yeah, it's true. That's
badass,
true.
Let me kick some ass type stuff.
If this was 10 years ago, I would have said yes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think it's just a different kind of movie. I just think it needs to be a younger actress set up for it to maybe have longevity if it does well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I love my older ladies. I'm all about them too. But I like to see them more in the sensual side of things.
But are we in agreement for no hard feelings? This looks good. We want to go see this one?
I hope.
I hope we get.
Yeah, I really do.
I hate when you watch it and you're like, the only thing funny was the trailer.
I hate that so much. By the way, yes.
This has potential to be a good one. The whole that's my cousin.
Yeah,
my second cousin. Like,
and when he sprays her and he goes, "You're trying to kidnap me," and she goes, "You're 19, grow up."
Yeah, you can't get kidnapped. Yeah, you're 19, dude. You're not getting
punches her by accident.
That throw punch was epic. Trying to defend her arm. No! In slow motion, went straight for the throat. Yes. She just died.
It was the weakest.
But it probably that knuckle went perfectly on the throat.
You can't even breathe.
She was like knocking shit over.
She overplayed it, and it worked so perfectly.
It was so good.
I can't wait to see that movie. That looks like it's gonna be funny. No Hard Feelings, the Red Band trailer. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yes, for sure.
The trailer is hilarious. Let's move on to what we've been dying to talk about. The Last of Us. I even took the time to write down the notes of what the creators of the show. But we are running out of time. Let's just talk about it.
As soon as that guy spoke,
you knew
like, he's a creepy cult.
Yeah.
I get drink the Kool-Aid vibes from this dude. This is a creepy.
I didn't trust him. No, I didn't know what it was, but I didn't trust him.
For us who haven't played the game.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't trust him. And then when his real, I was like, well, my gut said it. There it was. Like that, I had that exact same reaction.
I think for me, it was a lot of that.
For me,
when he's giving the whole religion speech to all these starving people, I was like, this dude's cult.
For me, it was when he slapped the hell out of that.
No,
I got it before that.
I was talking about in the beginning. That was right in the
Yeah.
beginning, and he's telling all these people this stuff, and you're just like, no.
In the beginning, he had me because when he looked at his second in command and was like, "This is not a code. Go get the medicine. I'm not playing around."
I didn't trust it. I had a weird gut feeling about it, and I was like, this isn't right. Something's not right.
I didn't trust his second in command.
For sure.
I knew that because he was loyal. I knew I wasn't surprised when he doubled back and he got the medicine, but he still came back to try to take Ellie out just in case. He was being loyal, but the way it was just the way he delivered it was so perfectly. Like, so Joel was hurt from the last season, and Ellie needed medicine. She went out to trying to get food, and then she bumps into a new group. Mm-hmm. We're talking about David. Was his name right? Was it David? Mm-hmm. And his group of people, and it felt like that this guy was a nice guy. But maybe there is something nice in this crazy world. But real quick,
are we doing spoilers?
I mean, it's been
finale.
Yeah, so I was like, can I
go for it. Yeah,
because my favorite part of this episode, truly, and I know it's part of the game, mind you, but my favorite part is that she rescued herself.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate that she had to go through that, what she went through in this episode. It was traumatic, obviously. But I absolutely loved that she rescued herself and that they didn't have Joel rescue her.
Yeah, that was also in the game.
And I guess in the game, you play her in this part of the game, which is kind of cool. But I like that in the end, he was just there for comfort, which was a vulnerability from him that he hadn't displayed yet.
Yes, baby girl.
Yes.
We finally got that baby girl, huh?
I
got you, baby girl.
Yeah, and it was the most comforting thing that she needed in that moment because she
tapped into her darkness.
Well, not even hers. She saw a darkness in others where he was about to force himself upon her. Yeah. And she being a gay female, that is even more traumatic. Yeah. And on so many different levels.
But I'm talking about that darkness that even David and when the creators of the show acknowledged he saw.
Or he just said, you're
the same. Yeah, I can tell.
She had to, in my mind, she's going to have to reconcile with that because the darkness that she has, like he's trying to blame it on this is what just you have. Whereas I think for her, it is developed. It's not nature, it's nurtured in because of the life that she's had to live. And so I feel like she's going to have to reconcile and forgive herself for the fact that she might have this darkness because of the life she is having to live, this apocalyptic life.
Yes, it says right here in the notes, it says, I'll go to the other half of it. She was surprised by the accusation of being called violent by David. He sees a violent heart in her. I can't even read my own handwriting. We love her. We want to be even though we love her as a character, they said we're a little scared of her because she potentially could become a very dark.
I think anybody has that ability, and especially in an apocalyptic scenario where you have to literally fight for your life. She is literally living fight, flight, or freeze trauma responses 24/7. Yeah. So of course she's this is a guard. This is her armor. That's why she curses the way she does. That's why she smarts off the way she is, because she doesn't want to get hurt. She's been constantly getting hurt and she's in trauma mode. So yeah, and I don't think that it makes her have a evil heart or a dark soul or anything like that.
The writers and the creators, they say she does.
I think that that's a setup.
I mean, there's a sequel to the game, so we don't know what she did in that second.
I think that's a setup. That's my prediction. They're trying to tell you that you're going to see a development or a complex.
We're just wondering how it's, like you said, going to be nurtured.
I love how handicapped Joel still took out his whole doggone team
I mean, he's a vet. I mean, he kicked into soldier mode.
He got some antibiotics and he's like, all right, I can kill people.
No, she's like, don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, got it.
That pep talk was so funny to me. He's like, Joel, here's a knife. Like, it felt like Taken. I'm gonna get kidnapped, okay?
Yes.
You kill them all when you wake up, okay? Like that whole pep talk was funny to me. I thought that was hilarious, and he followed through. He was like, all right,
but he didn't rescue her. She rescued her.
And let's
the video game Joel is in this. He's the one that you were talking about is his henchman that was a bad guy. That was Joel. He talked.
I thought it was funny
behind the scenes about like he really enjoyed
doing the character.
Do this.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought it was funny that Ellie, this version of Ellie, killed Joel. The video game Joel.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. Joel calls her baby girl after he says that for the first time in 20 years.
Yep.
At the end, you see something snap in Ellie. The question is it permanent or can she find her way back? These are the notes. I wrote down everything that the producers
from
said.
From behind the scenes, yeah.
From the behind the scenes. That is the question. Is obviously just like Tabatha was saying, it's in there. Mm-hmm. But how will it be nurtured? If she bumps into enough Davids, she's gonna snap.
Sad that our finale is the shortest episode of the whole season.
Really? Is it? I haven't noticed that.
Like 43 minutes.
Yes.
Oh man.
Everything else has been like 50 minutes or more.
Serious?
So I feel like they're gonna jam pack all the action in it. Really? It's gonna be bloaters everywhere. You're gonna freak out, Tabs.
We also get to see the video game Ellie is in the finale. She's the mother.
Gonna be playing her
She's
mom.
playing
in a
mom.
flashback.
I love that. Okay.
All right. So guys, let us know what you thought of The Last of Us episode 8. I thought it was great. This show, if they stick the landing, perfect season. Perfect. I don't give the greatest of all time willy-nilly.
I saw another little interview thing of Pedro Pascal talking about this show.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because he calls her in real life, he's nicknamed her Belly because her name is Bella, and then the TV in this show is Ellie, and he's combined, so it's Belly. And I'm like, that's actually good because I find myself because the names are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Saying Bella. Oh wait, it's not Bella. It's Ellie in the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just
smashed it together for you.
Belly. He calls her Belly.
He could do no wrong.
Guys, let us know what you guys thought about that, and I can't wait to talk about the season finale. I'm the only. Me and Joe, we've seen all the Scream movies. Mm-hmm. In this next one, I want to do a quick ranking of the Scream movies. You have not seen any of them. You've only seen part 1, so your list would Tabitha's only seen part 1, so her list of the greatest Scream movies are going to be real fast. Part 1. That's it. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of people online that would agree with that list. When you compare part 1 with all the others, the list is part 1. So let's put that on the screen real quick. So let me pull that up. So your list, the tab of the list, real quick.
Mm-hmm. 1.
Scream 1.
Yeah.
That's her list.
Man, look at that style. Yeah, I had such a crush on him.
Skeet.
That's such a crush.
Yeah, I like Skeet.
Again, he kind
I was like, what are you
the
talking
lesbian
about?
haircut.
Him in The Craft. I watched that
Oh,
movie.
The Craft. Yes.
Joy.
Love that movie.
What is if you were to rank it right now? How would you rank the Scream franchise?
Well, one's gonna be.
That's why I left it up there. I think that's across the board. 1 is 1. What's number 2 in your opinion?
I think 6 might be number 2.
That's moved. Number 6 is moved up to your. Is coming in hot.
Okay.
This movie comes out tonight, tomorrow. Yeah, Scream is out. So.
Okay.
So Scream 6 is your number 2. What would you be? What stands out to you? 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Probably 4 or 5 next. I don't know.
Which one?
4 or 5.
2, was it a jam of yours?
It was all right.
So I'm going to go in order what you said first. So number 3 would be your 4. Number 4 is Scream 5, which means number 6 is it's okay for 5 and 6. Is it 2 or 3? What's next? Which one did you like
Maybe
more?
Maybe 2 and then 3.
Number 2.
Okay, so 3 was the one you liked the least.
And 3 is your least favorite. Okay, all right. That's Joy's ranking. And guys, in the comment section, let us know what your order is. For me, my order will be as follow. Let's go back to. That's not where we're going to. get rid of all that. Let me take some time out to get rid of all these things that are in the way. So
Natalie she went with us.
I'm curious what hers would be.
She was over in the corner.
Yeah. I'm so glad I did not go try to see.
You would have loved it.
No, I wouldn't have. Joy's already told me the truth.
Number 1 is Scream 1.
Okay.
My number 2, because it's going to confuse me with the order they're in. My number 2 is Scream 5.
Okay.
And then coming in right after that, and this could change. Maybe tomorrow it might change. And then number 3 is Scream 6.
You liked 5 over 6.
Only because I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. No. The reveal of when you finally figure but I was letting you know why. I said this online. How they did Ghostface this time was way better than they've ever done it since part 1. But it still didn't make sense to me, and it didn't sit right with me even while I was watching it. And we talk spoilers, we can go into the details on that. So number 1, Scream 1. Number 2, Scream 5. Number 3, Scream 6. Number 4 would be. I went back and forth on this. Scream 4.
4. Okay, 4 is 4. 5.
Number 5, Scream 2.
2. Okay.
And then last and definitely least, Scream 3.
We're opposite on that one.
Yeah,
no, 3 was your last.
3 was
3 was 2. Sorry, because I asked about 2 first. That's what made me think about it.
I loved everything about Scream, Scream 6, except for it's simultaneously, except for and because of the reveal of Ghostface. I liked it until I thought about it. So that's it. That's my order. So guys, in the comments section, let us know what your order is for the Scream franchise. Let's move on to the reviews. I want to talk about this because I don't have a cool
what?
I have a website.
What?
You can go to. The reviews are in for John Wick. And I'm going to let Tabatha go first on this because anytime Keanu Reeves comes up,
I get all excited.
Hot and bothered don't even describe
I know.
Doesn't even describe it.
I should have worn my Many Faces of Keanu shirt and I didn't.
I know the video I sent you the other day. That was hilarious.
Oh, so now y'all sharing videos?
We share videos every day.
He was reciting lines from all the.
Oh my god, it was so good.
So good. His career.
So good.
So good.
So we're gonna the early reviews that are in for John Wick Chapter 4. They are in. Let's see if I can scroll down for the early reviews. Where did they go? Did they not load? What the hell?
I can't read anything.
I had there they are. Like
the
Twitter, the Twitters didn't load right away.
The twatters.
The twatters. Okay. Starting with Caitlin, Chad Stahelski brings it to the next level with John Wick Chapter 4. Mind-blowing action sequences and the fantastic world building continues. Keanu kills it, but Donnie Yen is a scene stealer.
Ooh, I see. We kind of predicted that was going to happen though with this movie.
That Yen was going to steal.
Yeah, you said it.
He was going to be a scene stealer. Joseph Deckelmeyer. John Wick Chapter 4 is intense throughout the entire film. Kane, Donnie Yen steals every scene. There's another one, steals every scene he's in. And as expected, the action in this film is next level. The film definitely left me wanting more.
I'm so
Lastly, there's a post-credit scene I recommend staying for.
Okay, well,
good to know.
Also, like we talked about before, longest John Wick ever. Out of all the this is 3 hours.
Yeah.
And and they're still saying that, it sticks to landing.
I'm so excited.
Don't worry, we can throw that chair out. Eric Eisberg, I had reservations about John Wick Chapter 4, nearly 3 hours runtime, but the movie earns it. It's an epic with smart pacing that never lets the action feel exhausting. And the set pieces are phenomenal. Great cast of series newcomers.
But
Donnie Yen is the MVP.
Hell yeah.
But some people don't like to throw the word GOAT around, so we can't call him that.
They said MVP.
Potato.
Boom.
What we got next? Aaron Newirth. John Wick is incredible. A symphony of controlled and careful choreographed violence.
Yes.
Damn.
That's my favorite thing about his movies.
Every shot in the movie is interesting. The cast is great. The action is beyond impressive. And with such a long runtime, it never feels as though I want less of what's taking place. John Wick has always been very the cinematography, the way they use colors. It's the way they do John Wick is amazing.
It's one of those things that I think really does take it to the next level when it comes to this series. They really
Gung Fu.
They're turning these sort of popular idea of kung fu action fight scene driven movies, and they're making it important in the sense of there's more beyond it. There's more storyline. It's more in depth. It has more emotion. There's a reason for this fight scene. There's a story behind it, and it honestly brings it back to like the old school, like Asian style kung fu movies that have all this dramatic storyline that goes with these fight scenes, and it to me is just it's like chef's kiss. Amazing.
That world building is next level.
It's so good.
Let's do a few more here. Is it Ian Sandwell?
Absolutely a huge yes.
John Wick Chapter 4 is absolutely huge. Yes, it's long, but it's outrageously good. Set pieces more than makes up for it. A slick, brutal, and stylish action epic that sees Keanu Reeves push himself further than before.
And with moments
that'll have fans talking.
We already talking.
In a world where Courtney Howard says it's brawny, bold, and badass, John Wick Chapter 4 brilliantly balanced. She loves bees. Brilliantly balances vested stakes with an absolutely spectacular high-octane thrill ride. A soaring, searing, scorching chapter in this saga. The wildest time you'll have at a movie this year. A pure adrenaline rush. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It's gonna probably be that kind of ending for me.
Yeah. Wow. A little dab will do, yeah. All right. That's I can't wait to see this movie. I was hoping to get some passes on it, but gonna have to settle for Dungeon Drake. No,
I know, right? But I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited about that movie.
Yeah, that movie's gonna be fun. We have passes to see Dungeons and Dragons before it comes out. These two right here are gonna watch it earlier on Monday on the 13th. I'm gonna check it out. I told Sean about it. Me and him are gonna go on the Saturday after and check out the next screening. If they let me.
Oh, gotcha.
If they let, but I'll at least let you guys go check it out. Because Chris Pine, of course.
I'm really excited. Honestly,
he doesn't know because he was making fun. He was like, "You're just in it for the Bridgerton dude."
I mean, I watched Bridgerton. He's, it's not bad to look at.
Anywho,
he's got that lovely skin.
Can we get serious for a second?
He's so shiny all the time on that show.
The accent.
The accent. Accents go a long way. People don't realize that. Yeah.
Welcome back to We Got Your Mail. I wanted to real quick just acknowledge something I haven't done in a while. The polling. I won't go through all the social media. I'll just stick to the the YouTube channel. So I did a poll where I asked about the villains. Which of the Last of Us actors played their villain roles best? 80% of you guys said David.
Oh, yeah, because he was creepy on a next level.
Remember how I debated about how she was justified and stuff like that? I thought the polling would be closer. But obviously, when you're a pedo / teacher / preacher / cannibal.
It takes over.
It's I guess shooting a doctor in the face.
Does not come close. Yeah, doesn't come close.
Another one that we have on here, which movie is Shang-Chi most likely to appear in before his own sequel or an Avengers movie? 23% of you said The Marvels, 21% of you said Thunderbolts, 8% said Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and 48% of you believe he will appear in Captain America 4.
Interesting.
And I'll make this the last one. Which Disney sequel are you looking forward to the most? 55% of you say Zootopia 2.
That movie's great, but I gotta say, Scar Origins. I mean, I'm a lover of The Lion King, and I just think that's going to be a cool storyline. I'm really looking forward to that.
That got 22%. Coming in third place, Toy Story 5 at 18%, and hardly any of you guys are looking forward to Frozen 3.
I'm so done with Frozen.
You already,
I have 3
you ready
girls.
to let it go? You ready to let it go?
Do you know how many Frozen on Ices and shit like that I've had to go to? Yes, I am done. Make it go away.
Right. I feel you. I got it. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys in the live chat as always. Thank you for reminding me. If me and Tabs don't get into heated arguments and drag on for 20 minutes about how Steven Spielberg is the GOAT. After I'm going to try to incorporate it after we do first, second, and third act. When we do We Got Your Mail, I'm going to introduce, and I wanted to have an example up, but I don't have it. I'm going to introduce something called the Rundown Wheel. Eventually, I'm going to get a physical wheel that we're going to spin. But for now, it'll be digital. It'll be a digital wheel. I have categories on display, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So at the end of the show, because we've talked about wanting to play games and stuff. I mean, I bought props, zip ties, masks. Like Tab was like, wait, what? I didn't. I was like, I didn't zip ties. I didn't read none of that.
Well, yeah, I was like, where are we going with this?
No.
Get there.
So when it's time to spin the wheel, the rundown wheel, wherever it lands on, is what we'll do to how we'll sign off the show. Maybe we'll record it for the members only portion of it. Maybe if we don't run out of time, maybe it'll be live streamed. But here's an example of what I have on the rundown. What I will have on the rundown wheel. There will be a selection for pop quiz. So I'll hit the button. I'll say pop quiz, hotshot, and I'm going to give you guys a pop quiz on whatever all the categories that we talked about. That's just make sure all of you guys at home and at the panel, if we've been paying attention. So pop quiz is just literally a pop quiz of everything that we discussed. It's nothing major. Guess the flavor.
Oh God, guess the flavor of what?
Exactly. That's the game.
I don't put things I don't know in my mouth. Just don't. Gotta know it.
What about you, Joy?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Guess the flavor. It'll be a mystery box. I will sign a waiver. It will never be anything poisonous, disgusting, or anything. Like let's say
all relative terms that you applied to the it will never, and I'm not on board with that.
For example, I will buy 4 bottles of the different flavored waters or something like that, and see if you can tell the different brands.
But if you put something that's
you're
going
about like behind the box.
Yeah, behind the box.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
But that stuff can get dangerous.
Like water.
Yeah, you put something in that water like Tabasco.
No, I will not poison. I promise you, nothing will ever be spiked.
That's not poison. That's the thing I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Another category would be Judgment of Characters. It's a game that I've been wanting to play for a long time, where we pick a character who is clearly a bad guy, and it will be up to the panel. One will play a defense attorney, one will play a prosecutor to defend.
She's like, I'm out on y'all.
For example, me and Tabatha will go into a debate on why David wasn't that bad or something like that. That'll take a clear villain, and I or Tabs will do our best to try to defend them. That'll be a game called Judgment of Characters.
Poor Joy on this. I'm so sorry.
A game that we haven't played on the show in a long time. I think me and what's her name, Sarah Catherine Red came up with this vague synopsis.
Okay.
You take a bunch of you come to the studio with already a bunch of movies or TV shows that you've listed off. You don't tell us what movie you're talking about, but you're very vague in your description of it. And we try to guess it.
Okay.
Vague synopsis.
Okay. Take that.
Try not to laugh.
I feel like I could do that.
Live chat picks the lines though. That's the game.
Try not to. Okay.
We're gonna do it. Try not to laugh. So that's a game where you guys help us out in.
Yeah, that was
you guys.
fun.
So, for example, Tabatha will take a drink of the water or whatever liquid that she's drinking, and she will hold that liquid in her mouth. You guys in the live chat will feed me a bunch of things to say to try to get her to bust out laughing. That's how that try not to laugh will go. Live chat,
don't make me waste my vodka.
Live chat pickup lines is what that try not to laugh. Another one, for example, is Smash or Pass. We've played that game before. Dirty Rip reading. So your ears are gonna be muzzled. You can't hear, and you're gonna try to read my lips and see what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, what?
Like, I'm curious on what you thought that meant.
Well, you said dirty.
You said dirty, and so I was like,
dirty lip reading.
Well,
you thought I was gonna put some dirt on my face?
No.
Like you're just making us say things that
are dirty.
Yeah, but at a whisper, like Joy. What did I say? What did I say?
Joy's like, I know what you said.
She's like, you say it every day. And we won't get demonetized because it's and you guys in the audience can feed us what to say on that too. And like stuff like, could you pick that up for me, babe? The Netflix box. Like if it lands on this category, there we have a Netflix trivia game, so Joy can show like stuff like that. There's stuff like that. There's more, but that's just an example. When we spin the wheel. If it lands on these things, these are the games that we're gonna play. So let us know hopefully by next week I'll have that up and running. So look forward for that. All right, that's the show. We're gonna end off the live stream now. Thank you guys in the chat room, especially you, Peter Lang, for helping us out. Nick, I don't know if Nixon was. Nixon out there in the chat. Appreciate you guys for joining us in the chats and keeping it going. If you want to reach out to me, you can always find me, Chris W. Fagan, on all the social medias or at Th3 Medias. Starting with to my left, Joy. If they want to find you online, where can they do it?
My TikTok is Viola Fagan, and my Instagram is Scrub Hats and More by Joy.
And my Play Cousin Tabs, if they want to find you online, where can they do that?
You can find me on TikTok at Let's Have Fun 012, and then you can find me on Instagram at Tabatha.Jordan.18.
Outstanding. Guys, remember the rundown was brought to you in front of a live studio audience of the freakiest of the deaky. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.